All right, guys, we need to talk about something very, very tragic that happened roughly almost 2 weeks ago out here in Texas. Actually, in Fort Worth, to be more specific here, because a young mother of 4 is facing eviction. Why, you may ask? It's because she defended her family. Now, this young lady, her name is Aaliyah Wallace. She is in, I believe, some type of a special housing or something like that. Subsidized housing. I believe that's what it is. And she has 4 kids. I believe she's only 25 years old. She lives with those 4 kids in subsidized housing. And she has had problems at this place. People trying to break into her home. She's actually called the police. But I told you guys, the police, they're not your first line of defense. You must protect yourself. Because she got a gun. And she protected her family. Why? Because a 14-year-old boy tried to break into her home through her daughter's window. Very, very young girl. Tried to sneak into the house through the window. And guess what? He upped around and he found out. He's dead now. She shot him, pulled the trigger. But there's a problem, guys, because the owner of the property now is evicting her. They were saying that she wasn't supposed to have a gun on the premises. I've read it before. I've never heard this before at all. I really couldn't tell you. Out here in Texas, man, I told you guys, don't mess with people in Texas, man, because you can get shot. Don't go into someone else's home, else you could be dead. A 14-year-old boy, man, and this young mother here now has to live with that for the rest of her life. She's not happy about it. I don't blame her. I wouldn't be happy either, but I will protect my family. I have my gun. I recommend that you arm yourself because the police, they're not going to protect you, man. She's been complaining about this before, and it still kept happening. And I believe before she actually pulled the trigger, actually not long after she called the police, she ended up having to pull the trigger because her home was getting broken into. I don't know what was the motivation behind this young boy doing this. I mean, when you have 4 kids, man, I mean, where's his parents at? That's what I'm curious about. Where is his parents? Where is his mother and father? Man, this is sad though, man. But let's go ahead and dive into this, man. You see here on the Daily Mail, Texas woman shoots dead 14-year-old boy after, quote, he tried to break in through her window while her 4 younger daughters were home. These are all females, guys. 1 adult and 4 little girls. What else was she supposed to do? Man. And she says that she is devastated by this, but they are actually trying to kick her out. I believe there's also an investigation, standard procedure, but I don't believe that any charges should actually come to her. None. 0. And I don't think they will. Let's go ahead and listen to this this clip here from Fox 4. I believe this is out there in the Dallas area. Let's play it.
Woman who shot and killed a teenager she says was breaking into her rental home told us today how the incident has changed her life. Police have not filed charges for the shooting and they plan to submit the case for a grand jury review. Aaliyah Wallace talked exclusively with Fox 4's Sean Rabb, who joins us now live. Sean.
Aaliyah Wallace bought a gun to protect herself and her family, she tells me, after a rash of break-ins in her apartment. Those happened while she and her family were not at home. But on December 14th, twice that day, while she was home with her kids, someone tried to get in.
Twice in the same day. Wow.
I was cleaning my living room, sweeping my floor, and I heard her window start going back up. So I went and I looked in the hallway and I could see him standing at the window lifting it up, and I just shot.
Gunshots that killed 14-year-old Devin Baker at the bedroom window of Aaliyah Wallace's 8-year-old daughter early morning, December 14th.
It's bothering me that he was a kid.
The incident happened not long after police left Wallace's home after responding to her 911 call about someone trying to break into her duplex.
You see that, guys? She called the police, called 911, said somebody was trying to break in. And right after that, somebody tried to break in again. And now that 14-year-old boy is deceased. You are the first line of defense for you and your family, not the police.
So I called them at 1:22 a.m. We talked for like 30 minutes. They did a report, took pictures of everything, and then they left.
I believe there were reports that you had been burglarized or attempted burglaries before?
Yes, I have like 3 or 4 police reports before this night.
So what has happened since this incident?
The apartment called and told me that I was not supposed to have a gun at all, even though I kept calling them and telling them somebody was breaking in. They told me I could not have a gun and that I have 30 days to vacate.
And how does that make you feel?
Feel like I'm back at square one. I've been there for 6 years, so now I don't know what to do.
This case is going to the grand jury. It's a referral, as they call it, and they're going to let citizens decide. What do you want people to know about you, Aaliyah Wallace?
That I was only protecting my kids. I have 4 daughters. It's just me and my 4 daughters that stay there. I just was protecting my daughters.
How do you feel about what happened?
I'm devastated that he was 14. I hate that. I literally do, and I'm so sorry. But at that point, I had to think about my babies. I didn't know he was 14 when he was on the other side of that window. All I knew that somebody could come in here and hurt me or my kids. That's it.
So now Wallace lived in federally subsidized housing. We're seeking clarity on whether she can be evicted. She's concerned that if she is convicted, it would be difficult to find new housing for her and her 4 girls. We called the apartment complex today. The manager there told us to call the corporate office. We did so. The corporate office said, get your information from the local apartment complex.
Yeah, so you heard that right there, guys. Man, she's feeling pretty bad. But I'll say this. Her babies are alive. And I believe she said that she was on the phone with 911 or the police, something like that, like it about 1:22 in the morning. I believe that's what she said. And then not long after that, a 14-year-old boy tries to break into the home. I mean, guys, that's roughly, I would say, 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. What is a 14-year-old doing out at roughly 2:30 in the morning and breaking into someone else's home? I mean, that's a problem, man. That is a major, major problem. This woman should not be evicted. She shouldn't. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. She did the right thing. You would do the same thing, right? I'm pretty sure the listeners here on this channel would have did exactly the same thing. He was trying to break into the home right there. It's sad, man. I know he's 14 years old, but guess what? If it's like 2:30 in the morning and it's dark, guess what? Somebody's breaking in. You don't know who they are. Guess what? I would do the same thing. I would have my gun. And if I needed to, I'd pull the trigger. Especially, that's your kid's room right there. So that's really no choice right there. What good is calling the police at that point? He's already going to be in your house. You are the first line of defense, folks. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.